So I just saw Avengers Endgame. Now, I want to preface this video with that these are my initial thoughts. I literally just came out of the theater not too long ago. It is 5:30 a.m. and I finished watching it at like 3. I discussed it with my friends for like 2 hours. So, these are my initial thoughts. Now, this is a 3-hour long movie, so there's a lot to process and a lot to think about, and I'm definitely going to watch it again. And my thoughts might change a bit, but these are just my initial thoughts, and I want to get this out there. Now, this is going to be spoiler free for most of it. I'll let you know if I get into spoilers. Okay, so what are my thoughts on Endgame? I thoroughly enjoyed Infinity War. I thought it was great. I was super hyped for that movie, and my expectations were super high for it, and it exceeded my expectations almost. It was the best movie I think they possibly could have made. With that, there wasn't a whole lot of downtime or anything like that. It was jam packed, full. It needed to be that 2 hours and 40 minutes or whatever it was. It needed to be that length because there was so much in this movie. Now, you'd be thinking, all right, well, if there was so much in that movie and it was like 2 hours 40, this movie's 3 hours, there must be a shit ton of stuff in it. No, there's not. Nothing happens for about the first hour and 20 minutes. And the thing is this is hard for me to say because I was genuinely super excited for this movie, but it fell flat. It really did. The tone of the movie in the first bit is off. It feels, I was talking to my friend about it, how like, it just doesn't feel right. The ending of Infinity War is super depressing, and the majority of this movie, I would say even like the first 2 hours of it, it's a comedy is what it is. The first 2 hours of this movie is a comedy, and the last hour is an action movie. That's what it is. It is two separate movies, and the first 2 hours just is, it feels tonally inappropriate. If you watch Infinity War and this movie back to back, it's gonna feel weird because it's not, they're not the same tone. You're gonna go from super depressing ending in Infinity War to a comedy, and it's weird. It's There's a lot of fan service in that first 2 hours. A lot of it is just, hey, there's a comic book reference, and here's a comic book reference, and here is stuff that we've done over the past 10 years. It's very fan servicey, and it's just unfortunate is what it is, because the first hour and 20 minutes is really slow. It's very slow. And like even after that, once they start getting into the stuff that they do, I'm gonna try and keep this as vague as I possibly can before I get into spoilers. But after the first hour and 20 minutes, like my friend leaned over to me and was like, it should have not taken this long to get to this point in the movie. Like it should have not taken an hour and 20 minutes for them to get to here. And it shouldn't have, because there was no point. There wasn't anything before that that was super important. The start of the action in the movie is an hour and 20 minutes in. So you got that first hour and 20 minutes of just nothing is what it is. As the movie went on, I started liking it more and more. Like I said, the first hour and 20 was pretty bad. The next probably 40 minutes was pretty okay. It was all right. It had some decent stuff in it, and then the last hour, literally the last hour, it's so good. The last hour is the best part of the movie by far, and probably one of my favorite parts in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's great. My friend was saying how it feels like the movie itself did not deserve that last hour, but the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe does. Like, it doesn't really build up to that last hour very well, but if you're thinking about it in the grand scheme of all the movies, it's good. It's a good action set piece, and it's really fun. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's filled with a lot of just sick, awesome shots, and it's a lot of fun. That last hour is definitely great. but the first 2 hours is just not good. It's really not, and it's just unfortunate, is what it is, because they didn't need this movie to be 3 hours. They really didn't. It could have been a 2.5 hour long movie, and it would have been better. But just there's a couple character things that I didn't like in this movie. Like I said, I'm not going to go into any specifics here, but I really, really, really didn't like Thor in this movie, which is very upsetting to me because the first Thor movie I liked him in. Second, I mean, the movie wasn't really that great. Ragnarok, I really liked what they did with him in Ragnarok, and even in Infinity War. I loved his character in those two movies, and I was super excited to see what they would do for him in this movie, and he is not good. I'm not saying that Chris Hemsworth did a bad performance. I'm saying that his character wasn't great. I didn't like his character. Bruce Banner was a little strange as well. Like he was just strange, and I did not really like Hawkeye either. So there's a few characters that I like. It's not like I've never liked Hawkeye or I've never liked Bruce Banner and I've never liked Thor. Like I've liked all of them before, but in this movie their characters change, and I mean that makes sense for what happened, but I just don't really like them. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to get into any spoilers or anything like that. Like I said, I just wanted to kind of throw out my first thoughts. And I'm going to go see the movie again. I'm not sure exactly when, but I'll probably upload my second thoughts and talk about spoilers in that. But for now, that's going to be it for me. I mean, for recommendation, I have to say yes, because obviously, well, first of all, you're not going to listen if I say no anyways, but mostly because of the fact that, like, it's basically the end of the first set of the first Marvel movies. So, anyways, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, I'll get a spoiler review and all of that and my second thoughts on the movie out in probably a couple days or something like that. Anyways, bye.